Sure. Thanks, Mike. Just literally finished up practice. Good work today. Full pads. Guys came out here and got after it. Really proud of them, how they continue to come out here, come to work. The development in this program since we've been here has been really, really positive, and just proud of our strength staff, how they've continued to develop them even when they were away for those couple of months. I was reflecting this morning about when we were in a virtual world and not around each other, how much I truly miss these guys, and just every day that I get to come out here and work with these players, get to come out here and work with these coaches, for that 2.5 hour window that we're together, it's just very meaningful. I want to make sure that every single day I never take it for granted, that I am blessed to be here, blessed to coach this group of guys, and the way they work and the way they carry themselves, the way they represent this institution, the coaching staff, how they come to work every single day with a positive attitude and really pour their hearts and their souls into these players, these young men. It's just a blessing to be able to coach this group of guys and to coach with the coaches and the staff that I'm blessed to be around every single day. And I never want to take that for granted, because we're building something special here, and I just want to make sure I don't ever take that for granted. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions about the scrimmage that we had on Saturday. Played a lot of just base offense, base defense. We weren't trying to out-scheme each other. We were just running base formations, base run plays, base pass concepts. We were very just base in our defense, day one, day two install. Wasn't a lot of blitzing, wasn't a lot of stunning. We just wanted to see who could line up, communicate, execute at a high level, run the ball, block, tackle, fly to the football, have great energy, have great juice, see who the leaders were in that kind of environment, and encourage guys to be great teammates and support each other in that kind of setting. We tried to simulate and replicate as much as we could what a game day feel is going to be like, with even as what we did on the Jumbotron, the situations that were flashing, the music that we played, the music crowd noise being introduced right at the end of the play when the quarterbacks were ready, letting the music die down, so trying to make it as much as a game day environment as we could. But there's some guys that have really stepped up. I want to mention some guys I know I'm going to get asked about, a lot of them, but I wanted to start with Tobias Oliver. This is a young man that came here to play quarterback and did that at a very high level, made a transition to help the team to play receiver last year, and then in the offseason made a decision to help himself and the team at a high level by switching to corner. Who he is as a competitor every single day, the attention to detail, the focus. I've been blessed to coach some great DBs in my tenure, a lot of first-rounders, a lot of second-rounders. Jim Thorpe Award winner to the nation's top DB, and Tobias Oliver, the way his mindset is, movement patterns, is reminiscent of a lot of those guys. David Curry, just really proud of him as a leader, has full grasp of what we're doing defensively, has a full grasp of what we're doing on special teams, pours his heart and his soul into this program every single day. Highly intelligent, high character. His game has become so much more refined by working with Coach Thacker. Really, really proud of him. Another kid that's made a tremendous leap since he moved to defense is Jerry Howard, and just who he is. He was a special teams star for us last year. He's continued to embrace that role on special teams, and now he's going out and playing at a very, very high level for us on defense. Made a ton of plays. Saturday actually made a ton of plays out here today, and he just gets better every single day. Jalen Askew, we talk about the special teams piece, being a selfless teammate, giving of yourself for the benefit of others. That is Jalen Askew to a T. His work ethic, his commitment to getting better every single day, and whatever phase it is very, very powerful. He's got a strong presence in our locker room. He has a strong presence on our team, and he's doing a great job for us. Trey Swilling, he's playing some of the best ball that I've seen him play in the past 18 months. He's become a voice in the locker room. He's become a voice on the team. He matches it with his work ethic. He matches it with his character, how hard he goes about his business every single day. Again, he's a pleasure to coach. Amarian Brown tied Calvin Johnson's record as a freshman and has just come out every single day and just worked and worked. Perfected his craft, gotten with Coach Dixon. He's become a leader of the program, and it's not because of just production. He's a great player. He has stats, but what he does as a teammate and his work ethic is very, very special. Jalen Camp was injured last year, had to sit out in redshirt after the fourth game, and the way he's developed and come on, tremendous ball skills. I think he's won every 50-50 ball this entire preseason, and a lot of times he looks like Morpheus has photoshopped him, but I know it's not a computer image. He's standing right there. I know it's him, but his development and his muscles have muscles, but his work ethic, attitude, character is absolutely amazing. Tariq Carpenter has been banged up a little bit throughout the preseason, and we had him back a lot today doing a lot of really good things, and just excited to see him in the next week or so be back to full speed and be back completely healthy, and he's going to make a huge impact. I'm almost done. Wanye Thomas, Tariq and Wanye are best friends, and who Wanye is, his development over the last 18 months as a leader, his presence on the back end. We talk about being an eraser at the post position because we play a lot of middle field closed defense. Really, really proud of him. And then the last one I'll mention is Jamin Brooks. A kid that came here with 0 offers, 0 scholarships, 0 stars, and now has earned the right to wear number 0 for the first time. He comes to work every single day, and I wish we could just do a close-up every day of him and Ryan Johnson working against each other. Him and Jack DeFore working against each other. Those three, the way they make each other better, those are three 300-pound plus guys on the interior of our offense and defensive lines, and the way they lead, the way they motivate, the way they work every single day. Just really proud of them. There's a lot of other guys I could talk about, but just want to really take the time while I have the choice. I know y'all want to talk about quarterbacks. This is who I want to talk about. So I want to make sure I took the time to give them the respect that they deserve because of how hard they work, the men that they are, and just really blessed to coach them. So thank you for letting me get that off my chest. And now I'll take questions.
Okay, questions for head coach Geoff Collins. If you could use the raise hand function within Zoom, and we'll call on people individually. And we'll start with Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Geoff. Good morning. Hey, I know you're busy preparing the team for the first game, but last Friday the NCAA came out with an important mandate allowing players to have an additional year. How is this going to create maybe some roster management issues for you, or will it? And will you be talking to Todd, because naturally money is an issue in all this?
Sure. The big thing is the first for the benefit for the players, right? They were all in the conversations that we've had over the past month, the eligibility piece, how the season's going to play out. That's been a topic of conversation with the guys and with myself and them to me. And so I thought that was a big step as far as making sure they know that they're going to have that extra year. The roster management piece, I'm sure as this unfolds, there's going to be accommodations made. I'm not privy to those. I've had conversations. What the best possible ways that navigate this moving forward. And then Patrick Suddas, our general manager, we've had the roster management discussions, and just whatever's the best thing for the players, whatever's the best thing for the student athlete, I'm 1,000% for. If it makes it a little more stressful as far as us managing the roster, whatever's best for the players is the side that we're always going to take, and then we'll manage it from there. But those conversations are going on. I'll leave it at that. But thank you, Rod.
Next question is from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Geoff. I was curious, when do you guys start focusing on Florida State, and kind of where are you? I know you're kind of still sort of in a camp almost mode in terms of your practice and stuff, but when does that kind of start, scout teams, kind of thing?
And I won't even mention, I won't even talk specifically. I'll just tell you our process. The way our process is, up until 2 weeks before the first game, the complete and sole focus is on us and our development. We're going to have a scrimmage Friday night under the lights, Grant Field, Bobby Dodd Stadium. Atlanta's the backdrop. We got the new lighting system. You guys have seen teases of it before. The Jumbotron's going to be going. The music's going to be rocking. The new speaker system hopefully will be completed by Friday night. It is going to be a great environment in Bobby Dodd Stadium. So we will start the preparation. The coaches have already started it, but we start our process come Saturday afternoon after we put the scrimmage to bed. We will start phasing that piece in just like we do every single preseason. We don't ever do anything more than 2 weeks out for an opponent. Coaches obviously do. Luckily, we had the foresight as we started to know that the schedule was going to change and it might be proximity early on in the season who we would play. We went ahead, even though Florida State wasn't on our initial schedule, started breaking down their games to see personnel and breaking down where the offense and defense is going to originate from, all of those games as well. So the coaches have that library. We'll start introducing that to the players on Saturday. Very talented, great coaching staff. I didn't coach against the Memphis coaching staff, but got to see them a lot on crossover tape, schematically, physicality, culturally, impressed with what they do as an organization.
Next up is Ken Segura from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Geoff. I wanted to ask you about how the offensive line looked in the scrimmage, and also just more broadly, what has Ryan meant? What kind of impact has he had on the line?
I thought the offensive line looked good. I don't want to tell too many details about how we're moving people around and doing those kind of things, but thought, the first two drives definitely were able to sustain drives, move the ball down the field, we're able to run, we're able to protect at a high level. Ryan Johnson has come in here and just been a huge cultural piece to us. Who he is in the locker room, who he is as a leader, who he is as a teammate, his toughness, his demeanor, how he approaches the game, the bonds that he's formed with the offensive line in particular, but then the respect across the line with our defensive line, and they can work together at a high level, play physical, play tough, but there's still a high respect factor that you need when you're going against each other all day, every single day. And just really proud that he's one of us. That is a big deal in this organization, to be stamped as one of us. And Ryan Johnson is everything that the Georgia Tech football program is and aspires to be moving forward.
Next up is Allison Mastrangelo from WSB TV.
Hey, Allison.
Hey, I don't even know if this has been a discussion. I was more so curious, just with like other conferences not playing this year, is there a chance that you guys could get more national games on TV? And are you guys kind of using that as motivation, just with other conferences not playing this year? Is that
I'll be honest with you, I try to make sure I focus completely and solely every single day. I've got 212 people that are under my charge, under my care, that I'm trying to make sure we're putting the best systems and practices possible to make sure this organization functions at a very high level, that everybody is healthy and safe, that everybody feels valued, that everybody's able to maximize their contribution and their role within this organization. So I don't have time to think about those things. I'm worried about this football team, our amazing players, our staff, and everybody that does a great job supporting this group, from the athletic trainers to the equipment managers to the operations staff, all of those things. I'll be honest with you, that's my sole focus every single day, and getting them ready to play in a healthy and safe environment and developing at a high level in every phase of their lives.
Another question from Kelly Quinlan.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Geoff, I was curious about the defensive tackle position. Obviously, Brooks stepped up big time and getting the 0 and all that, but I'm just kind of curious who are the main guys in the mix there and what you're looking for year 2 in terms of production, because I'm sure it wasn't quite what you were hoping for last year.
Well, let me first thank this Zoom audience right now. We're really well into this press conference, and we've had questions about the offensive line. We've had questions about the defensive line, and I've yet to have a question about a skill position or a quarterback. I truly appreciate that. Defensive line, just the size that has been developed, the length that has been recruited and brought into the program, having Antonius Clayton being able to go for us. Just really excited to see him after all that he's been through for the past year and a half in particular, to be able to play college football. Just really excited for him. It's a really group that we can move a lot of pieces around. They're not all the same type of player, especially on the inside. So Coach Thacker, Coach Knight, Coach Coleman have done a really good job being creative with how we'll implement the use of each one of the guys. We're not just going to play, this is what we play every down regardless of who's in. We have a thought process and a plan to package different defensive parts of our scheme based on who's in the game. And the guys are working really hard. The length that's coming off the edge, the development. A young man I want to mention too is Curtis Ryans. Been here for a couple of years. His development in the last 18 months since we've been here is through the roof. When we got here, he might have weighed 214 pounds. He's 6'6". Right now, I think he's at probably 258 and moving much better than he did when we first got here. And that's a testament and a tribute to our strength staff, our conditioning program, working every day with Marco Coleman, who's one of the Georgia Tech legends. Just his development is through the roof. Jordan Dominic is another player. He played last year at about 218, 220. I don't know if Mike Flynn listed him as such, but that's what he played at last year. He's now at about 248. And even faster, even more powerful. Was always a playmaker, always a great pass rusher, but to see him develop since we've gotten here, the maturity level, the attention to detail, how hard he plays, and he has sustained that through this entire preseason and OTA walkthrough period before that as well.
Okay, we have time for a few more for Coach Collins. We'll start with Rod McKenzie.
Hey, Geoff, I know you've been charting the kickers as you've gone along. Has anyone distanced themselves from the others, or will you be charting them right up to the first game? And have you found someone where you have confidence in them kicking the ball in the end zone?
Sure. So you know how we run this program. Every single day there's competition. We have competition every single position up until even the day before the game. That's not going to change regardless of position. We've had a lot of special teams focused practices since we've been doing a lot of things with just our mask on and just our jerseys on, and we'll refine all of our special teams. So they've gotten a lot of reps relative to how we've run preseason camp in the past, and there's a healthy competition. There's about 3 guys fighting for the kickoff spot. There's another 3 guys fighting for the field goal spot. Some are interchangeable, but really excited about that group and how well they compete, and they've got some really strong legs. Some days some guys rise a little bit ahead of the others, and then the next day it changes. We just got to see who's the most consistent as we get closer to the game.
Okay, we'll go ahead and finish up with the last 2 that we have in queue. We'll start with Ken Segura from the AJC, and then we'll wrap up with another question from Allison Mastrangelo from WSB.
Hey, Geoff, I could just ask you kind of big picture, how much better you think this team is now compared to, maybe the end of last season, and just what that means going into year 2 for you.
Yeah, and it all goes back to it's our process and the development piece of all of our guys. Just incrementally every single day we've gotten better. The part that when we were apart, I thought our coaching staff, our strength staff did a great job staying connected with the guys. The development piece continued even though we were apart. I think the mental aspect might have even increased more because there were times that we got to meet with them even virtually that we would normally not, because we're in May spring recruiting. In the first 2 months of June we have camps, and we're all over the place running our camps. So the development piece, the mental aspect has been really good with all the meetings that we've had. Excited to see them play against somebody else, but just really proud of them, how they come to work every single day, the length that we've gained, the size that we've gained, the speed that we've gained through development and through recruiting. I'm excited about, but it's every single day we're just out here trying to get better every single day until we get to kick off in 2.5 weeks.
And last one from Allison Mastrangelo, WSB TV.
Hey, Coach, I'm sorry if you answered this a couple weeks ago, but I was more so curious when it comes to the quarterback battle, what challenges does this pandemic present when you're trying to find a number 1 quarterback, and has there been any separation in camp so far?
I appreciate you saving that for the last question to talk about quarterbacks. But, I mean, it's been really good. James closed out the season for us, had some really good games, had some games that there were some things that he knows he could have done better. The offseason was really big for him, his understanding of the concepts, understanding of his reads, progressions. Jordan Yates came in last year in a couple of games and did some nice things for us. His development has been really good too. I thought it was huge to get 2 of the best high school quarterbacks in the country, in Tucker Gleason and Jeff Sims, to enroll in January. They got to go through our grueling off-season conditioning program where we build the culture, we build the mindset, the philosophies and beliefs that we have in this program were able to be ingrained in them over the 2 months. They got 6 spring practices in. They're both very talented, strong arms, 6'4", athletic, highly intelligent, great character young men. And I think the way Dave Patno used his Zoom meetings while we were all quarantined, and their development, understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, it's been a really good competition. They're friends in the room, and then when they come out here, they compete really, really hard. Great guys to work with, and the same thing. It's rises, it's ebbs and flows, throughout the preseason camp, and just excited to see this next week and a half for sure, how that thing unfolds. And again, we don't worry about who the starter is. We just worry about who's going to contribute, how we can package things for their success and for our team's success. But they're every single day, they're a pleasure to coach, and the competition is really strong, and I'm very proud of them.